let's have a look at the, if you've got all these bottles standing together on a shelf like that, and you put some pressure from there, a push, you push those bottles, well, what's going to happen is they're going to compress. There will be a compression all the way till here. This will compress. Once that compression is over, then you'll see they expand again, and some will probably fall off, or they'll just go back to their original position, or just move over an inch. Depends on the thrust. Okay, if it's violent, some bottles will fall over, but that's what you call a longitudinal. All the bottles are standing together in a row, and you just push here, and then the last bottle gets hit as soon as you touch this bottle, because they're connected. Okay, so what's happening is they will compress and then rarefy, compress along a standing wave. Those compressions and rarefactions, just by nature of being, will produce the electromagnetic effect. This is an effect. This is a cause. This is the cause of all things. This is the effect of all things. So this is the temporal world. This is the atemporal world. There's no, it's the forever now. There's no future and past. So if you get a rope and you go like this and you flick it, being a musician and a stringed instrument musician that I am, a guitarist, I often relate to strings. You know, you pluck the string of a guitar and you see the transverse wave. All of a sudden, that longitudinal string starts to vibrate. And you'll find that the vibration... Okay, hang on, I'll just grab my guitar.
I'll grab mine too, why not?
Oh, that's great.
If I
just play for 1 hour, we could just sit here and watch you play for an hour.
So let's grab the E string, because it's the E string is a lot it's bassier. So you can see that vibration now. I'll separate the strings there.
Yeah.
Now that's one bass tone, but if I go to the middle of that string, which is here, I can play a harmonic. I'm just barely touching that string. So what I'm doing there, that's the harmonic point. That's the middle. On flamenco guitars, the middle of the string is always there, where the body of the guitar on that fretboard, that fret there, the 12th fret. Okay, so there's a harmonic. Those are not notes. The notes would be... And the harmonics. So what are those harmonics? Well,
it's a different vibration.
So there's your guitar. And there's, let's just put one string on there. Okay. Now, from there to there, you get one tone. Look at the word tone, eh? Aton. All is aton. Tone, tune, note. Those are all atomic words, because atom is sound. See, they're all anagrams for each other. Tone, tune, note. You can do this in all languages. I can go to all languages and find these letters for music, for tones. There's only one language. It's etymology. So in the middle here is a harmonic. So not only is this string vibrating like this, one vibration, it is also doing this. Crossing over here. at the harmonic point. So now you have this wave and this wave, but there is more. So inside of that will be another vibration, and it goes like this. So now it crosses in the middle there. So let's grab the guitar, and you see a harmonic point here in the middle, but you also go to 1/3 of the string and you find another one.
And one more up there. Go all the way up there. Yeah, there you go. It's got it.
What are these points I'm touching? Well, you can see that point is half of here to here. So what harmonics are for stringed instrument types out there, what harmonics are these points here. I just played that point there. I just showed you that. That's the last one I did. I played that one, and I played that one, and another one over here. I played that one, that one, that one, and that one. I did all of those on my guitar. If you rewind, you'll see that. So those are harmonics. So what's going on? Well, it's like this. That E chord is the essential bass tone, but there are harmonics in there that you can hear. It's like a bell. You can hear many, many little tones inside the one main tone. So here's your one main tone, and then that wave is creating harmonics, overtones, supertones, subtones. They're called overtones. So the whole universe is made of overtones. Tones, all these are tone, and overtones. And so what we have here is you would have this E string to get an E chord, which is that. You would need to go. So you've got the first, the third, and the fifth. So now you're doing harmonies, not harmonics. That's harmonies. Harmony, hormone. Har is the sun, Harpocrates. Horus is the sun, moon, moon. Harmony is sun and moon. Okay, so when you're playing harmonies, see this, I'm playing 6 strings now. Well, that's not just E's. That's E, G sharp, the third, and B, the fifth. That makes chords. Oop. So if I want to just play a simple note, you got one note. If I want to play a simple harmony, then you've got 2 notes. There's the E and the B. If I want to play a chord, you need minimum 3 different notes. So now I'm playing a chord. So this is the E chord. This is the E harmony. Just B and E. And this is the E note. And as that string vibrates, the string has its whole vibration. Then you cut it in half and you see the wave goes in the half. Let's start a newie, shall we?
So life is a pulse.
It is a pulse, brother. It's Ken Wheeler says light is a coaxial circuit. It's a pulse. It's a pulse perturbation with a wave. Yeah. Let's go into that, shall we?
Yeah.
Why not?
Hey, if we don't go through all the questions, we'll just be stuck for having you again. But we're not really stuck, so I don't mind.
I think we're still on question 1, right?
We're still on question 1. So worst comes to worst, you'll come back next week again.
See what I said? It goes from one thing to just the next, you know?
Coaxial circuit, that's the cross section, yeah? You know your TV coax cable?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is how Ken Wheeler explains it. Light is not just electromagnetic. It is first a longitudinal pulse perturbation, and second, it's electromagnetic wave. See, those who maintain that it's electromagnetic, light is electromagnetic, and these photon particles are shooting through the sky. Well, here is the pulse, the longitudinal insulated inner pulse perturbation, and then you'll have other wires that are insulated on the outside. So you've got coaxial. It's coaxial. There's not just one wire in there. Okay, so this will be the wave, and this will be the pulse. So what you've got is this and spiraling energy like that being generated, a field modality of electromagnetism, whereas this here is magnetodielectricity. Magnetodielectric as opposed to electro that was a bit long. And so it's a coaxial circuit. It is pulsing. So if you're looking for particles, you're like a mechanic that only sees the pistons and not the crankshaft. This is how it has been described by people like Ken Wheeler. Let's say you've got a four-pistoned motor, and then you've got a crankshaft running through here. And so the crank so as the crankshaft turns, and these are the pistons are connected to the crankshaft. If you're looking at just pistons, you're looking at particles, right? And you're not seeing the longitudinal connector of all those particles. It's like saying that the wave of an ocean, as the wave comes up and goes down, it's like saying that is a quantity. That is a particle of the ocean. It's not a particle of the ocean.
It's a pulse.
It's a wave.
Yeah.
It's a wave of water. So when you're talking in waves, you need to explain a wave of what? Is it a wave of electromagnetic light? Or is it a wave of water, air, molecules being disturbed for sound to travel through the air? So the wave in the ocean, that's just temporary, isn't it? You don't see a wave, you never see a pond or an ocean and you see a wave just sitting there saying, hey, you know, I like my form, I'm a sexy wave, so I'm just going to maintain my wave form forever because I'm not interested in what the ocean's doing. I'm not interested in all the other ugly waves. I'm a beautiful wave. I'm going to stay here forever. It can't happen. Waves are connected to their longitudinal eternal home. It's this that needs to be recognized, not the pistons, or at least recognize them together. See the waves for what they are. They're just temporal manifestations of something underlying, something real, underlying, not particles. Because when you go looking for particles, then you have one illusion, the wave, which is your foundation for an illusion on steroids, which is called the particle. But if you realize that this illusion is based on a reality of atemporal energy, which is unconditioned, unqualified, and unlimited, the reservoir of magnetic magnificence. Let's have a look at that word, shall we?
Magnificence, I like that. Image, isn't it what NASA give us all the time? And all the time, images, and they do magic with it. Not picture, but images.
That's funny. It's like in the same word too.
Net. Do we call this substance magnet? Why would we put a net on the end of mag? Yeah. Well, because it is a net. It's, if you look at it from on top, the magnet, there's your 0 point. You'll see the lines of force going like this, and then other ones going inward like that, and so like this, like that, like this, like that, and you see how the flower of life is coming out of that vortex. This is the only way energy works.
Now, is that how we process thoughts and information too? Does it come from outside in a field and kind of go within you? Kind of a circuit, it's all out there.
All information, all knowledge, all wisdom, all light, all transcendence, everything is where it is and always has been in the longitudinal, forever now world. Everything. We can draw on that world for everything we need. You know everything there. Here, in the wave world, you drank too much of the cup of lethe to remember all that stuff.
See, now, because I read some of Greg Braden's books, and he talks about how information is out there in a field.
It is.
I mean,
it's all information. This is information here. This is
always
intelligent.
Always thought that I have to get in touch with my information, my higher self in the ether somewhere, and bring it back, constantly. And
I even notice, like, if I'm going by the same places, the same thoughts come through my mind. Some of the places I go by, even just driving out, and I notice deja vu. Deja vu. It's just all of a sudden I remember something at a particular point of where I was going, or where I was. I notice things like that.
Yeah.
So that means the information's out there. Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's my Aries cup. Look, it's like this, guys. Never ever commit the sin and be guilty of not attributing intelligent consciousness to this divine force. This is divine magnetism. Sri Yukteswar in his book, The Holy Science, of which I've done a lot of work out of, he said that mankind is now entering a time of divine magnetism. We're going to leave the world of electricity, charging, metering our power, putting a meter on the power, and giving a rate of charge and discharge for that energy. And so you can pay and continue to pay and pay for what God gives freely. Never, ever must you not see the intelligent, conscious energy that is God. This is God. God is magnetism. God is dielectricity. The third God of the Trinity is electricity. El, bell, bail. So El gives you bell, as in ding dong bell, ding, don, all is a don. Baal, because Baal is the god of beauty. So when you're talking God and science, you've got the one, the good, and the beautiful. The one, dielectricity, the good, magnetism, the good, magic, magnanimous, magnitude. See, magnetism is what creates magnitude. Nothing else does. The magnitude that you see around you, what you call space and time, those all come from magnetism and magnitude. That's the good. The beautiful, the bello. In my case, bella. Feminine, beauty. That's the third God. Good always precedes the beautiful. When Jesus was called good teacher, he said, no one is good except the Father. Because why? Because Jesus, in his physical capacity, is not good. He is goodness. We are not good. Only one is good. That one is good. In that world we are good, but in this world we are goodness. So this is why Jesus was saying, don't call me good. There's only one form of good in the universe, and that is the one. And then from that one comes the good, and then the beautiful. They are all one, and they are all equally as important to each other because they are all principles. But one precedes good, and good precedes beautiful. That's why I said last week, truth precedes all other virtues. Truth is before love. Truth is before goodness, because truth embraces all of those principles and is first in position. Here, that's truth. Truth, good, beautiful. And so you've got dielectricity, magnetism, electricity. There's no other way of looking at it. You can if you want, but you'll just go round and round in circles doing what the scriptures say, forever learning, but never coming to an accurate knowledge of truth. If you want an accurate knowledge of truth, you must syncretize like this. There's only one way. There's many ways, but they're time consuming. The shortcut way, which you'll find in 10 years of studying syncretism, is this way. The way I've always been teaching. Always. The sine wave. The sin of Eve.
That's why they tell you become like a magnet. I have a question for you now. If at the center of all things is very important, something very important happening there must be something very important happening at the center of the earth. What do you think about that? Like at the center of the earth, it's not just, I mean, some call it the mountain, the magnetic mountain. Some say that the northern lights come out shooting from there, from the black sun. What's your idea of all this? I want to have your point of view on this, the Holy Grail, the black sun, the northern lights, all the magnetism around this. I want to know Santos, Bonacci's point of view.